Welcome to the Men of Honor podcast. My name is Kuri, your host, and today we're going to be talking about customer acquisition. And I'm talking about this because I was doing a workshop on Wednesday and I completely got stuck on customer acquisition. So I was speaking to business owners. I put out an advert on Meetup. So these guys are people that are entrepreneurs that are actually running businesses, and literally I did 3-step thing to show them about customer acquisition, from customer acquisition, how you can actually expand your income with the actual current customer base. So I wanted to talk about that, and also I was going to talk about how you can create that, move your customers from just people that a transaction, just to do a transaction, into raving fans. So that was the actual plan, and I was going to deliver this within 2 hours and hopefully get them going away and doing something crazy with their business. And we got stuck on customer acquisition because it seemed like we kind of blew their mind, because everybody, when they get into business, they are aware that in order to get a customer, you're going to pay, and you're either going to pay with your time or you're going to pay with money. So in terms of time, you're either going to be going around speaking to people and telling them about your business, or the other one is that most people default to branding. So they would get posters, flyers, put up a website and stuff like that, and even going as far as Facebook ads, Instagram, and a lot of that is a good way of getting eyeballs to your business, but at the same time, it doesn't guarantee you to get customers. And if you do get customers, if you're not tracking, you have to be tracking that customer acquisition cost. So there's a cost that it takes for you to actually get somebody into your business, and then for them to get into your offer. And it's a key number to be tracking. So when you do a lot of branding and stuff like that, you cannot track how much of your branding and how much of your money that you're spending is the actual responsible for the people that are coming in. So if I put a poster somewhere where there's a lot of traffic, unless I'm actually getting people to fill in a form to say, where did you see our business? And I think you see that sometimes on some websites and some order forms, they'll ask you, where did you see our stuff? Did you see it on the newspaper? Did you see it on this? That's them now trying to track and see where their advertisement is working. And that's a very painful way of doing business, because when you don't track that, when you cannot track that, then that means that you cannot scale, or in fact, it just brings a massive confusion when it comes to getting people into your ecosystem. Whereas I come from a direct response standpoint, where every single action that is given towards getting a customer in is measured in terms of how many customers come in. So if I do an action in order to get a customer in, I need to know that how much it's going to cost me. And my ideal scenario would be for me to break even. So if I sold them something in order to break even, that is a perfect scenario. In fact, even if I was running at a slight loss, but I get a customer, because at the end of the day, it's not it's capturing the customer that is the most important thing. If you look at one of the biggest steals that has ever happened in business was when Facebook approached Instagram and said, we're going to pay you $1 billion for you to give us Instagram. And everybody was like, oh my God, that is like the most expensive thing that Mark Zuckerberg would pay for. I mean, that seems ridiculous. And you think $1 billion. And while everybody was complaining about it, they were thinking from the perspective of their own perspective, that, it's billion is just such a crazy number. So, but the key thing here is that Mark Zuckerberg can easily code Instagram in an afternoon. In fact, he's got a whole team of computer science geeks that can do this literally in a few hours. They can build Instagram. But he wasn't looking for the software. He wasn't after the software. He was after the customer base. And now this gives you an idea of why it's important to be able to have a system that is collecting customers into your ecosystem, but you're tracking it in such a way that you're either breaking even if you're running a little bit of loss. Because it's what happens after you get them into your ecosystem. You should have a way of ascending them within your business. So if you give them a front end offer, this is what we call, what would you normally use to get somebody into the business. You put something out there that is at least breaking even. So for instance, I've got an offer that is running right now for dentists, and my front end offer is a PDF document that shows the strategy on how to get organic traffic into their business. So if they were browsing on Facebook and they were liking and commenting, there's certain things that you can do to your Facebook profile in order to start getting people into sales process. So this PDF goes through that, and that PDF is being sold for $7. And then that PDF form actually takes them through on how they can do it themselves without having anybody to show them out. So it's a step-by-step, it's got pictures, it's literally a guide. And if they go and then they purchase that, it's going to cost them $7, which if I run Facebook ads would actually break even. So I think it costs about $9 depending on the time. It would have, before it costed me $9 to actually get a customer. So I was losing $2 per every customer that I would get. But I wasn't lost, because normally as soon as they buy that one, I take them to an upsell, which is done with you. So it's the same information that you would find on the document, but this time it's in video form. So it takes you step by step on how you can build this thing out. So while it would take them maybe a good 4 hours to build it out using the PDF, in this case it might take them a little bit shorter, so maybe about 2 hours maximum to build it out using that same formula. So at that point, I'm now making. So everything else after that, they buy the PDF, everything else that I sell them is profit. And this is the key part of it. That I think you could get concerned about, the money that you're making. I think that there are times when I've got those customers in and I'm breaking even. And sometimes if, I think last time, there was one time I was buying a customer for only $4 at one point, which means that I was making $3 every time somebody bought that PDF. And again, every time I upsell them to the next point, which is $47, I'm making profit from that point. If I'm losing, for argument's sake, I lose, I'm doing minus $7. Can you imagine? It means that by the time I get them to the upsell, I'm making $40 every single time they upsell. And if I upsell them from the $47, it goes up to $297, which means I get to do the thing for them. So I can build out the whole process for them without having them to do the thing. So that's my offer, and that's how I get customers into my business. And it costs me almost nothing, because by the time I liquidate the advertisement, I've got them into my ecosystem. Those are people that are within my ecosystem. They're now my customer base, and I've sold them on one thing, and I've provided them value. They're now getting customers using that thing. I'm now creating the next thing, which will be either a mastermind or a something else that I'm going to try and fulfill for them. And because then obviously once they start using that vehicle, once they start getting more customers, they're going to start asking me more questions about different things. And based on the questions that they're giving me, I can now start building out the next thing that will help them. And once so I can now charge them even more money because I'm spending more of my time. But the key thing is that how I got them into my ecosystem. And a lot of people, when they build their business, they're building it for that one transaction. They give that one transaction without actually capturing that customer and putting them into the customer base. So we spent literally 2 hours talking about this, and we started just building out this whole entire process of, how do you get customers and how do you get them to the point where you're close to breaking even? And then how do you ascend them to get into your higher ticket items? And then how do you actually continue how to make them into raving fans, so they are buying the next thing, the next thing, and the next thing. So hopefully I didn't lose you guys, and hopefully I explained it really well, because it's harder to explain when I'm on the podcast. I would prefer to be showing you online and sharing my screen, because when I was sharing the screen, it made it a little bit easier to explain what I'm trying to say and sort of map it out and stuff like that. But if you just imagine it, is that that there's a front end offer, and the front end offer is just really to get somebody into the ecosystem. And in this case, I use a document I sell a document, and that document gets them in terms of breaking even with my Facebook ads. But there's other ways of doing it free as well. So offering up a free report, which always is a sales message. So you say a free report on how to do whatever. So if it's how to lose weight, a free report of how you could lose weight as a father, for instance. Because it's a father, they might be interested because you're speaking to them, and then you are actually laser targeting your potential customers, because once they download that free report, they have to give you an email for that, and they become part of your customer base. So there's many ways of actually doing this. The way I'm going through it probably is too quick. I might have to revisit it and try and find a way of structuring it in terms of giving you more information about this. I don't think I'd have done it any justice, but it's a very key thing in terms of getting your business to the next level. Being able to acquire a customer for free is like gold when it comes to business. So thank you very much for listening. I hope this has been useful. If you've got any questions, you can get me on Instagram. Through this pandemic, up until December, I'm willing to just go for free coaching, free consultation, just so I can help you guys and just get you into 2021. Because 2021, we're chasing 1 million, and I don't know if anybody wants to join me on that one, because I've got a new offer that I'm going to be making very soon, and that one is definitely going to be something that's going to be making 1 million, or at least close to 1 million. In fact, it's going to make 1 million. I shouldn't doubt myself. But yeah, thank you very much for listening, guys. If you want to learn more of this stuff, go to the Man of Honor Facebook group, and I'll be seeing you guys very soon. So take care and enjoy your day.